Are you all ready? Well, thank you all so much for coming to our first event. I'm Eiley. This is Rhiannon.
I'm Rhiannon.
And we will be your guides for the evening. This is the beta version of whatever we have going on. So you have a couple pieces of paper that I've been handing out to individuals. The first, with a little green circles on it, is a question that we hope you will answer and turn back in, and we will collect them and then maybe be sharing them throughout the evening. The second one is a survey and some comments for the end of the event that you can take notes during the event.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So to give you a little background about ourselves, as I mentioned, my name is Rhiannon. I've been calling myself a mountain bike yoga science instructor. I think that mainly covers it all. I'm working on my PhD at Oregon State. I study fungal chemistry and evolution. And then in my spare time, I teach and design mountain bike curriculum with no apologies. We have a few no apologies ladies here tonight. And we're a group of women who seek to get more ladies out on the trail on mountain bikes, leaving their apologies behind to really work on a growth mindset that they can then translate into the rest of their lives. And then I also teach yoga here at Peak in 2 towns and love yoga in Albany. And I occasionally call myself a runner and a climber. And in all of those endeavors, I really find myself coming against the boundaries of how I define myself and redefining myself over and over again. So I'm really excited to hear the stories tonight, to hear how other people have taken adventure and translated it into their lives.
Okay, so I'm Eiley Johnston, and I am the founder and creator of Willamette Public Health, which is a consulting and training company that helps the workplace address how to create a safe, inclusive, and respectful work environment by addressing the issues of harassment and discrimination. And my company specializes in addressing the issue of sexual harassment, assault, and misconduct. When I got out of college and decided to start a business, I thought, how hard can that be? Everyone seems to be doing it these days. And that was probably one of the most naive thoughts I've ever had. I continue to find myself stumbling around in the dark and falling on my face. And other passions that I pursue in my spare time is working part-time at Peak as a full floor sales staff person, as well as I enjoy mountain biking, kayaking, and skiing. And the one thing that my passions have taught me is to just show up every day and try. And some days I win, some days I lose. But ultimately, if I show up and I practice, I get better, which is a skill I try to apply in my personal life and my business. So
after many discussions and adventures, and many discussions about giving any background about how we came to this, we got together to start this project. So the Intrepid Failure project, we'll start with a little vocab word for you all. Atikiphobia is the fear of failing. So we want to dig into that a little bit more. And there's a diagram on the back of the question cards we handed out. If you still have them, great. If not, it's a pretty simple diagram. If you want to get one, I get. But it's basically 3 circles that overlap, right? So inside, these are space that you can occupy during any given experience. So in the middle here is your comfort zone. You feel nice and cozy. You're not pushing yourself too much. And then you get out from that and you get to your challenge zone, which that's where all the good stuff happens. That's where the learning and growth happens, where you have enough challenge to push up against. And then beyond that is your panic zone. But what if we become so petrified of failure that it prevents us from exploring that challenge zone at all? And what if it actually starts to diminish that space from our comfort zone and to our panic zone? So how can we continue to progress? So the Intrepid Failure project wants to use stories, and we'll use stories, your stories, to explore how our perceptions of failure can influence our time to explore our challenge zone or leave us stagnant. But more specifically tonight, we're going to explore bringing adventure to life. So outdoor adventure is a perfect place to start exploring that challenge zone. It's a place that creates risk, either real risk or perceived risk, doesn't really matter. And it gives us the ability to kind of experiment and fail and find challenge and success and failure. And by constantly testing the waters, an impossible feat may one day become possible with enough practice, persistence, and precision. So that's what we're working on here. The Intrepid Failure Project wants to normalize challenge and failure through these stories. And by practicing vulnerability and compassion, we want to tap into that common humanity between all of us and realize that failure isn't a lack of success, but it's a crucial part of success.
So tonight we had the opportunity to hear from 5 remarkable speakers. They will share their stories of how adventure has enabled them to reshape their personal lives. And just as a side note, I'm sure everyone is already there, but we would like to add, we want this event to be informal, comfortable, and respectful environment for everyone.